in your own community.
If there's a serial killer living next door to you, though, and you know that person is, killing people, would you be a snitch if you called police and told them?
If I knew the serial killer was living next door to me,
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't call and tell anybody on him, but I'll probably move. Like, I'm not going to be around because I don't need to be living around serial killers, but I'm not going to call and be like, put the signs up like, yo, the serial killer's in 4E.
It's not your responsibility.
Exactly.
Is there any situation where you think it's okay to talk to the police?
Yeah, definitely. Say hello, how you feel, everything all right, period.
Do you worry about the
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Real, back with another review, man. Hey, first off, salute to the boy Killer Cam. Oh, I remember that interview too. Hilarious, and it was perfect for this situation. Right now, first and foremost, man, this is another installment. If anybody cares, I watched Dahmer. Now, I only watched the first 2 episodes, and I'm not going to do a review past this, right? Because it's not, everybody that watches me knows I don't really like to do the Netflix thing. I don't like to do the full binge series like your Cobra Kai's and all those great shows, because I'm here to do weekly things so we could guess and find out, and the excitement and the hype about what we saw, right? I appreciate the binge, but I hate it at the same time, like, because I'm gonna sit there for like 8-9 hours and do a whole bid on my couch until I finish it, and then gotta wait a year for another one day of experience. But that's why I really don't touch those type of series, so that's why you'll never see me review those. But in this instance, right, I just saw it and I just felt compelled to talk about it as I see it so far. Now, I know the story of Dahmer. I was born in '87, so this is, but this is a great show for so many reasons, because you got so many people coming up that may have heard the name but didn't quite know what he did. And he was one of the sicker serial killers, like, for sure. But thankfully, even though, Dahmer's neighbor, Glenda Cleveland, thank God she wasn't Cam, right? She tried, but even still, her attempts was not what it was that got him caught, right? So we're gonna talk about it. What's his name? Evan Peters, aka The Flash. First thing I want to say is phenomenal acting. Like, I never seen it coming. I didn't know he had this in his wheelhouse. And I believe, what they call that for TV series? What you win, the Emmy? He's got to win something. The role he played, the creepiness in which he did it, it was phenomenal. Like, you felt his sickness, and the way he would just stare off into space. Like, I don't know what he tapped in, but phenomenal acting job. Now, also, in this review, I want to be very respectful, even though these can be like, these are based on truths. The reenactments aren't completely accurate. It is, bent to be entertaining. And, so first I just want to say respect to all those victims and the family members of these victims involved. I only want to do this as I see it as a show. Okay, because I'm going to probably poke fun at a few things. I'm going to say some things, but I don't want it to be misconstrued with some disrespectful or making light of situations. I'm talking about the depiction, right? So I just want to put that PSA out there. Please don't kill Rail, okay? It's a show. Unfortunately, it was made for our entertainment, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, now that I got all my cliff notes out and I've set the stage, I want to talk about what I've seen. Now, Dahmer. Right, I can't help but think of that one comedy show that I seen. I wish I could credit the comic, but I remember it. It goes, yo, if you've ever seen a white dude in the only white dude in a crew of black folks, like some gangsters, in a crew of black gangsters, you should be terrified of that white dude. He is the most dangerous one in that crew, cause you don't know what he did to earn them niggas' respect. He had to go hard. And it doesn't quite fit this, but yes, the sole white person in the middle of the Milwaukee hood, what did the police officer call it? Crack City? The one white dude living his day-to-day life in Crack City, Milwaukee, where nothing but African Americans but blacks in the neighborhood is something's up. That typically doesn't happen. And it's apartment building. It's not like he owned a home and then, blacks migrated to this neighborhood and some white people was like, I don't really like where this is headed, so we just gonna dip. He's in the projects. Like, these are tiny apartments stacked up on each other. We know what the projects look like. That's where he is in Milwaukee and just living his day to day. And, you see that and you go, why? That's awkward. Why would he choose that? Why is it so comfortable? Because what I like about this is it shows you several aspects. Like, sometimes black folks just ain't paranoid. Like, we have valid paranoia, especially when it comes to like police. You could, in the middle of Crack City, how long do you think the police timing is when you call them like, oh, somebody got shot? What do you think the response time is? It's of course, and it's the 90s. It's like petering off of the crack era, and gangsters and gangster shit is at an all new high. So that is an area where you go, this is a day-to-day thing. It's just like business as usual. So you could, as a serial killer, you could hide there. You could get your shit off. I thought it was wild. Now I didn't know that Dahmer stayed in an apartment building. I thought he stayed in a house. Right? The fact that you got a neighbor on top, bottom, side to side, and you have the ability to murder men, piece them apart, store them, consume them with neighbors surrounding you is insane. But a lot of the reason is to that Killer Cam interview. A lot of black folks is just like, hey, it's not my business. Men are coming in, they're not leaving out. That's not my business. Okay? We're raised for the non-snitching. We're raised in that era, my generation. This new generation, I could call the police. Like, you see something, say something, I'm all for that. I'm too old for that code of ethics. Okay? And salute to Glenda Cleveland again. Rest in peace to her for what she attempted to do. But and then you saw at, what was it, the end of episode 2, that real life phone call where she's like, well, that looks like a boy. That looks like a bear. And I know that voice. That's the voice of every older black woman in my life. Like, I know that. It was just so chilling. It was like I was listening to my, like, aunt or something talking on the phone. Like, I don't know. I don't care about all that, what his relationship is. I'm just concerned about the boy's age. How you know? How you know, baby? Did you see? Did you get some ID? Like, that's a regular concerned citizen that is ignored because of where she is. So I just thought this was a powerful 2 episodes because it was so eye-opening for those who be like, oh my God, like, what are they fucking complaining about? And I'm not here to serious you out. Okay? I'm not here to bring some social awareness to shit. I'm not trying to be serious all the way. But we do got to touch on some things. Like, just to understand his thought process. He was actually, I don't want to give him no credit because of how nasty he is, but it's pretty genius. If you live amongst people that nobody cares about, you can do these things. And, it was the comfort of seeing, I don't know, maybe seeing a white person and being in the only black neighborhood is like, oh, I can overpower him. Oh, you assume certain things. Like, no, this can't happen. No, this the hood. But he's been getting it off for a long time from perception. Now, to actually get into the episode, I was extremely upset at this dude, Tracy. Dahmer goes down to your local gay bar, and he's mingling. He's buying PBRs. Anybody know what PBRs are? That's that Pabst Blue Ribbon. That's the cheapest goddamn beer. It's not too bad either. It's not too bad. So, they making jokes like, oh, big spender. And they thinking Dahmer's cute or whatever, and it's something different. It's something different, something they had, so it's curiosity. He's talking about taking pictures and paying folks, which is also how he was able to get this off. You live in a neighborhood that's poor, $50 and $100 to take some photos, no matter how nasty it's gonna be. There was no internet, there was no uploading, so it's like, fuck it. I'll let this strange dude. I'm hurting for cash. $100, take my clothes off, take some pictures. That's it. It wasn't no uploading for the world to see, so you ask poor people to do something easy for some quick money. He's in the perfect spot to do everything he's getting off. And it was just mind blowing. Like, so my issue is when that dude Tracy came, why didn't you listen to your homeboys that was in that bar? They said, you finna go with him? You finna, don't do that. Like, you just finna leave out. Like, listen to your friends. Your friends felt the vibe. Like, no, this is strange. You don't leave with some strange man. What? And then when Tracy gets to the door and he smells that is where I'm just like, what? Who hangs out in an apartment that smells rotting? That's disgusting. And then the super locks on that door, clack, 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 clack. And then you would assume like, oh, okay, well, he's just being safe because this ain't the safest neighborhood. So people could kick it in. So you try to give yourself that type of delusion, like, oh, well, we're at least safe in this house. Because this building is a little sketchy. So maybe he needs the super lock. But no, it's a vibe, like that smell. And then, you know what kills me? Lesson, if there's any young people watching. You don't let nobody make your drink. If I'm at some place, typically I'm bringing my own bottle. But if it's family, people I love, people I care for, then that's totally different. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you're going out to a party or to a rave or some shit. Somebody's like, hey, you want a drink? You follow that person to that drink. You go to a stranger's house, y'all got to link up. It's human interaction if you're trying to smash. Oh, let me pour you a drink. Okay, great. Let me come with you. Let me see what's going in my cup. Or let me pour my own troubles, as we say. I'll do it myself, thank you. So Dahmer hands Tracy a cup. And he's already looking at it like, yo, well, my man, what's this floating around? And stop. What are you doing? You see something floating? Nothing should be floating in my drink. Excuse me? And then you let oh, man, that's nothing. That's probably just some dishwashing liquid still up in there. Dishwashing liquid? I don't want to drink dishwashing liquid. That would have been enough to go pour out. Thank you. Thank you. No, I don't want this. Let's start again. Let me do my own. And it's a beer in a can. I think I could drink out the can, my guy. So I'm like, Tracy is just, I don't know. Like, what? I'm just not bringing it together. Then you see the Satan's Bible on the thing. What you think that was just his afternoon reading? Another big fucking red X to still on this dude and get the fuck up out of here. Like, hey, let me out. Let me out. You got funky shit floating. You got some Satan Bible here. The smell. I don't know if y'all have ever smelled a dead body, but you probably smelled a dead animal corpse, right? It's putrid. There's no way you hanging out in there for longer than from the step of the door. You come in, oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. No. And then so he takes that step. He's not really that fucked up, but then he gets the handcuffs thrown on him out of nowhere. And right now, Jeffrey is overpowering. And I'm just sitting here like all these thuds. And you go, man, how is he able to do all this? When the neighbors call, no. Glenda would, but the other ones, not my business. So all that thumping and fighting, I got nothing to do with it. I don't want those problems. I'm gone. And even still, if you say, hey, police, there's some thumping going on in this apartment, you know what I'm saying? Could you come take a look? That you at least got about 3-4 hours before they pull up for some thumping. Some shit getting moved. So he still got 4 hours to get his shit off before any type of police show up. Like, don't be confused. So he gets him there, and then, it's at that moment which I think is super creepy. Like, that whole apartment scene is extremely uncomfortable, cringy, creepy. It was pretty excellent. I'm not gonna lie. It has heavy horror like overtones, and yet still so real because these things either happen for real, like in this events, it happened, or something around it. And him, like, he's a giant dude. Like, Jeffrey Dahmer was not no little dude, so he was picking out little ones that he could come overpower. And then you just see the helplessness. Like, Tracy's acting in this was terrific. Not gonna lie. And then you get a understanding like how Dahmer's watching Exorcist 3 every day. First off, Exorcist 3 was trash. This has nothing to do with nothing. But Exorcist 3 was trash. I could get watching Exorcist 1 over and over, but clearly there was a scene when the guy flips it on the preacher. And that's what Dahmer's all for. That's what Dahmer is all about. Flipping it on God. He got the Satan Bible. He likes to see the devil winning. And that's why it's his favorite scene. Tracy's in here trying to put it together. Okay, there's a fucking barrel. Dude got a big ass South African machete. Over here, some Rambo type sword. Okay. It's bad. So he's like, all right. And this is the part that's like, wow. Where you're like, okay, I'm overpowered, I'm fucked up, I'm on his terms. So the best thing I could do is play along and look for my moment to strike. And that's when he tries to, touch on him and do this, laying in the blood that's in the bed. All that apartment was, oh my God, that was rough. But then so it's at that moment that he's like, I'm going to fucking play on and attack when I got the moment. And that's when he does the dance. This nigga's literally dancing for his life. And I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was hilarious. I know. I got one of those sense of humors. But my man was rolling and popping. And he was doing that for his survival. It's not funny. Please, people, don't kill me. It's not funny. But, oh God, it was, it's like, the fuck? Like, my man was into it, but it was the dance for your life. And then the speed in which she was like, "Yeah, go get the camera," and he's like inching toward that knife, like he's trying to get out of there. The speed in which Dahmer ran into his bedroom and came back with that camera, I was like, "Oh, that's the Flash." He still got remnants of the Flash right there. Or no, he didn't play the Flash, right? What did he play? Quicksilver. I've been saying it wrong all this whole time. Quicksilver. So he's got remnants of Quicksilver going in. Come back with that camera. I said, "Holy shit!" Dahmer's fast on his feet. This motherfucker's not playing. And he's clearly an alcoholic. So I'm just like, this is rough. And then I know that you were doing the same thing I was doing. Screaming at your TV. Slice this nigga. Throw something at him. Hit him with something. And he did that. He went all out into that battle. All right. And when he escaped, we're like, oh, thank God he made it. Then we got, just like you, I'm sure you was nervous when the police pulled up. Would they believe him? Would they try to shoot him? Would they arrest him? How was Dahmer going to get out of this? And then when you see the photos that he had in his bedside, I said, holy shit. And then you hear Glenda screaming, I tried to tell you, I tried to tell you. That scene, that episode, that's a hard opening episode. That's how you do it. And what's his father's name? First salute to Niecy Nash for playing Gloria Cleveland. Like, she killed that role. But Richard Jenkins, oh, they went all out. They got some good ass actors for this. I thought that was an excellent scene when the police was talking to his father at the table. And he didn't even know why he was there. Like, he knew that the reason he was there, but they didn't even ask him nothing. And he was giving excuses for his son. Like, oh, who did he try to kill? Oh, well, I know he took the divorce of Mother Hart, but he knew something was wrong with his son a long time ago. You just got that feeling. And you knew your son would do something, but just quite not how bad. And then when they ran down a list of things that they found in his apartment, the photos, the body parts, all this, and the way he sat there at that table, emotionless, didn't say a word, just was soaking it in, I said, phenomenal. Because how would you react to hearing this about your son? Even if you knew something was quirky or awkward about him. This is your boy. This is your only, well, not your only son, but this is your kid. And you sitting there just taking his information in, and you see this blankness on his face like, what? But not even what. It's just like, almost like he was in a dream. And I thought the way he portrayed that was excellent. Like, that was phenomenal. It was just some phenomenal scenes in here. The acting, they took off on his acting shit. I can't wait to watch the rest of it. Like, I'm just here to appreciate the actors. That's really what it's about. And then the breakdown when the police leave, where he cries and then sucks it back up, cries and sucks it back up, and just like, okay, maintain, keep yourself together, and then roll into the next episode where we see what made him. I think we all knew that killing of small animals was a thing, and also I was I hate that I say I was empathetic, but you tend to understand a father attempting to reach out to his son, like especially in that situation. Mother's on drugs, fathers are traveling, whatever the fuck, and you're just stuck there having to see this with your mother, and you don't find, and as any father would with their son, they want to find interest, something that your son is into, like, oh, you pray that he's into sports or something that he gets active, or you hope that your kid has friends, or you just want your kid to be as regular as possible. When you're a parent, you're like, oh God, please, and you recognize the shit he's seeing, and then their game became point out the roadkill and let's dissect him. But we learned things. His father, right intention, terrible outcome. He didn't know what he was encouraging. His father, to me, seemed like somebody who was like, okay, let's do this. This is something I'm interested in. I was interested in school. Maybe this births a doctor. Maybe me teaching my son what I've learned and, taking out animal hearts and how many intestinal, like this is scientific shit that he's enjoying. Maybe I'm birthing a fucking doctor, a surgeon, right? Wrong. Maybe I'm birthing somebody who's going to take young people of color, young black men of color, and dissect them and sometimes eat them. I was just like, wow. I was like, wow. And when that second episode, when he performed like slight lobotomy on that 14-year-old and brought him back, you see how nasty the 90s were and how super machismo the cops were. Because did anybody notice how Dahmer kept saying, oh, it's just a gay thing. It's just my gay lover. Because it was so taboo in the 90s that straight men, you got the AIDS epidemic, you got everything. So homosexuals are like terrifying to the straight men for whatever. Like homophobia is at its all-time high in the 90s. So the way that was depicted, the way he used that as a shield, I thought was super interesting. He was like, "Nah, it's just my gay guy, my gay boyfriend. We're doing gay things." And then the cops go, oh, "Okay, gay things, gay partner, go okay. I don't want anything to know about this. I don't want nothing to do. I'm not going to investigate any further." I was like, "Holy shit!" Like he used it as a shield. Like this man was not dumb by any stretch of the word, and that whole him sitting back and waiting for Tracy to come back, that was entitlement. Because he got away, we saw in the second episode, with the cops. So he figures if Tracy come back, I'll use the gay guy role. I'll say he's we was just playing around. We was just doing gay things, the gay things, gay stuff. And I'm just like, yo, Dahmer is really thinking this gay shit is just getting off. But that was entitlement. He was, when you think you get it, when you do it before you think and you're successful, it's just nonstop. Like you're gonna constantly get these things off, and that was the brunt of it. I thought the cinematography was amazing, the dark gloominess, the caption of the '90s to the cars, to the scene, to the dressing. Netflix spent the bag on this. They weren't fucking around. They weren't fucking around. So I would love to get y'all thoughts on it. I'm pretty sure y'all have seen it all. That's why I'm not gonna go no further into it. And it's not no spoiler. I know how the story ends. You know what I'm saying? I know how he dies. I know his body count. I know. So it's just to end. I guess it's nasty to say, but it's just something to enjoy your television. But it does pose great conversations. It's a good talking piece. It's a good cautionary tale, especially in this era of like online hooking up and dating and shit. Because there's a lot of things that we learned through being passed down that is now ignored now because of technology. But don't let it be like, don't let that shit fool you, man. Like, it's dangerous out here. Watch your drink. Watch the people. Don't let nobody fucking lock you in. That was too many locks. All right. And carry something. Protect yourself, man. Something. All right. And with that, I'm about to sign off. So I hope y'all enjoyed this, man. Get in the comments. Tell me what y'all thought about it. Is Evan Peters finna win something? I think so. I 100% think so. I think this is gonna be up there. But again, prayers out to the victims and their families. Who it's probably nasty. You got to keep rewatching this, and then I don't want to say it's romanticized, but oh god, that's what I hate about these type of things. Like you're enjoying the shit out of what you're watching. Like you're enjoying it, but you wouldn't if that was one of your peoples that he fucking murdered and tore apart. It's just, I guess real is here to just go out on that cross. I guess I don't know because it's entertainment, but it shouldn't be. It's that fine line. But I don't know, man. Protect your health, yourself, your wealth. Your boy Real is out of here. Enjoy your Saturday. Peace.
Yo, I know I don't need no introduction, but y'all know who it is, man. It's your boy Hollywood Real, and I appreciate you for sliding through and watching these videos. But you know what I need from you? All right, if you ain't already, I need you to like this and subscribe this, man. We at 1,000 trying to get to 2, all right? Push it for your boy. Get them algorithms up. So when it come to that subscribe button,